A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel, the Twinflame Union. In this session, we are going to talk about toxic mothers versus divine feminine. Now, toxic mothers, there are certain types of toxic mothers, but this particular wound is a very big wound for any twin flamer, star seed, any light worker to heal. Many people don't reach to this point because this is one of the biggest wounds. It also attracts narcissistic partners and a huge amount of narcissistic abuse in the life of anybody who is working on the ascension journey. So, a lot of people basically live in denial for many years. They feel that this is something that could not have happened to me, or this is impossible, that a mother could be toxic or abusive, or a father could be toxic or abusive, or a father could be, or a mother could be the cause of such a deep wound in the person, in the adult. But when the adults start working, when they start doing inner work, real inner work, genuine inner work, I'm not talking about time pass. When you do real inner work, you can be extremely aware of your emotions, okay? On a daily basis, right since the time you wake up. A lot of people who are in the ascension journey and who have been working with me, they have told me that when they wake up in the morning, they have a hollow feeling. They have an empty feeling, as if there is a hole in their heart. It's a very sad feeling. It's a very depressing feeling. Or if you try to understand what this feeling means, if you try to give an adjective or a label or a name to this feeling, it makes the person feel that nobody loves me. I'm all alone. I am lost and lonely. Last night also I was trying to do the channeling, but I could not do it. And the words that were given to me were lost and lonely, like a puppy, an abandoned puppy, like an abandoned puppy. So maybe a family got a fancy puppy from somewhere, a very cute looking puppy, but then they decided that we cannot take care of it, or the puppy was a little naughty, he started chewing something, just being a normal child, like how children are. Mostly, that's why I'm comparing it with the little puppy, because puppies are one of those beings on planet Earth who are very innocent and extremely playful. So when they're trying to be playful, they don't know what they're doing. Sometimes they can chew someone's shoe, sometimes they can chew a charger, sometimes they can just make a mess. So those who are animal lovers would obviously love it. Those who are very gentle and very kind-hearted, gentle people, like most of the star seeds, when they look at an animal's child, they feel so much love and affection and kindness and joy for that little being, a little baby being, that they don't see it as a problem. They'll probably clean it up, they'll take a photo on social media, they'll put it up, and they'll even flaunt it, that look what my puppy has done, or look what my kitten has done, or look what my little animal has done here, okay? But people who are extremely materialistic, now you have to understand that for a materialistic person, all materialistic possessions are very big deal. So if a puppy chews upon a charger, they will make a huge drama in the house. And whosoever the animal lover in the house is, they'll all run after this person, that look what your animal has done, what your child has done, or whatever you want to call it, a child, but it's just an animal. This rowdy animal, this little menace has created so much problem in the house. Now, why am I giving you this example? Because a lot of you can relate with it, because most star seeds, most ascensioners are animal lovers at birth, okay? So when they are getting into the ascension mode, as they start growing up, either plants or animals, they will have a huge attachment with one of those. They will be very happy around in nature, with trees, with flowers, with other beings, they feel very safe and secure and very comforted. They'll lie down on the grass, they'll feel as if Mother Earth is hugging them. And they see children, any child, human child, animal child, all of them, they see its innocence. They see its innocence, its sweetness. They see that, that there is a child is a pure creation of universe by God. The child does not have lust, the child does not have greed, the child does not have gluttony, the child is totally free from all the 7 sins. Okay? But even children get programmed, so it is quite possible at the age of 3-4 the child starts getting totally programmed. Another thing is that some women are very negative, so the child is in the womb, the child starts getting attacked with negative energy. Because the mother is constantly cribbing, crying, complaining, not happy, or maybe the mother is going through genuine abuse, okay, and that's why she's complaining and crying. But in this session, we are not talking about these type of mothers. We are talking about the toxic mothers, the selfish mothers, the narc mothers who ruin the child's life, okay. So they don't see that the naughtiness of the child, or the child just being a child. A child is being a child, so the child is being absolutely honest, pure, divine, and just being itself. The toxic mother will definitely have a huge problem with that child, because she is very materialistic. All toxic mothers, all narcissistic mothers, there are 2 qualities by which you can judge them. One is they are going to be extremely selfish, okay, and second, they are going to be extremely materialistic. They will be big time show offers, they will be big time liars, they would not consider anybody's feelings over them. Even if a person is in pain, they will not see their pain. They don't connect to anyone because they lack empathy. This is one of the biggest problems of toxic mother, that they don't have empathy even if it's their own child. But they will always like that child who they can easily control, who they can easily manipulate. And during the childhood years, it's very difficult to manipulate the starseed kids or the ascensioner kids. I try to avoid any of these labels, so I use the word ascensioner. This is a new word that I've created. Why? Because a light worker can be an ascensioner, a starseed can be an ascensioner, and there are various types of starseeds, by the way. There are around 12 starseeds. Actually, there are 19 starseeds so far, but there are around 7 that have been on Earth maximum times to help the people of Earth, to uplift the people of Earth. And because they cannot interfere from outside, so they make a big sacrifice. They take birth as human beings, the starseeds, and they purposely choose lives that are full of pain and suffering. So there is one way that you get pain and suffering because your karma was bad, because you hurt other people, because you abused other people. So God is giving, it has to make everything equal, right? You do bad will come to you. It's not even God's wish, it's in nature's wish. Nature, this is how nature is designed. As above, so below. Whatever you give out, that's what you receive, okay? So when the star seeds or the ascensioners, they do inner work, and obviously twin flames are, all twin flamers should be ascensioners. As long as they don't get into ascension, they don't get into inner work format, they continue to suffer. And one fine day when they cannot suffer anymore, like one of the spiritual writer, Eckhart Tolle, has mentioned his own life. He spoke about his own life, his own suffering, and he said that some people also begin to ascend, and I think twin flames would fall into this category, or they start researching about inner work, or they actively start doing inner work when they cannot suffer anymore, when they are tired of suffering, when they are sick and tired of it. Like they start questioning that, why am I going through this? What part of me is making me go through this? And I refuse to suffer now. I don't want to suffer, And not because they don't they're running away or they're escaping from pain, but because they realize that over a period of time there's no point in suffering is not leading to any growth or any progress. Okay, pain is always there in life, pain will come from this place, that place, here, there, and a lot of times even we try to escape from it. Like we say, okay, let's not think about it, or let's ignore it. We don't want to get into it because we feel that the more we'll get into it, the more we'll find out, the more it will hurt us. The more we'll find out that certain people who we had trusted, like in many cases when the feminines are doing inner work, a lot of them reach to a point after doing inner work. So first they are chasing the masculines, okay, constantly chasing, and then the masculine ignores, he runs away, there is a whole process, and during this process the feminines first get into depression, they go through dark night of the soul, they are in a lot of pain, they cry a lot, which they had not been doing, by the way. So many times we say, in fact I say it all the time, that dark night of the soul also has a purpose, and it's very important to go through the dark night of the soul. Of course, when you're going through the dark night of the soul, when you're in it, it's very painful, you suffer so much, but then you realize, you understand your pain, you understand where is the pain oozing from. You know that, okay, this is oozing from a certain wound, the wound is caused by the DM, okay, and now I need to heal this wound. So when they start getting into active inner work, now the phase of dark night is gone, or the strongest dark night that had shook them completely, that is not coming back again, they know that, okay. So when they come out of that dark night, they not only emerge as a very strong person, but they can also see some cases, in many cases again it has happened, that the feminines have said that it was a false twin, it was not even a twin, and do what, like give me as much money as you want, give me whatever you want, but I am not going back to that person. Because this is beyond my comprehension now. Whatever that person put me through, however that person treated me, this is beyond a human perception. Like humanly you can't do this. You have to be a very demonic person, you have to be a very dark person, you have to be really low, and at the same time you have to be a very good actor, you have to be really smart in pretending that you are a good person, you are a caring person, you are a kind-hearted person, and in the pretext of that particular abuser goes on for many years. So in some cases we see that the divine feminines have reported this, that they were with this false twin for many years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. Some people have mentioned that I was married to a narcissistic abuser, I was in such a physically abusive relationship. So we also say that if your twin is physically abusing you, beating you up, hitting you around, that can't be a twin flame. So sometimes I tell a lot of people this thing also, all these points are coming up, that if you are getting physically abused, don't put that twin flame label on that man, okay? Don't put it. Once there is this type of physical abuse, and I'm not talking about playing around with someone, having fun with someone, just like sometimes we play around with our partners also, and sometimes they can push us away or they can just do something funny to us. I'm not talking about that. That is not physical abuse, okay? They twist your arm just to say something, or you're not listening to them and then you say sorry, or you pull their hair. Sometimes women and men do these things, but they don't do it like to mean, like as if I want to hurt you, I want to physically torture you. It's just a little bit of games they play with each other. That doesn't come under physical abuse. Physical abuse, you all know what physical abuse is. When someone literally hits you, during an argument, something goes out of hand and the other person slaps you or hits you or pushes you, and you're hurt and they don't care about it, okay? In some cases, these men, they come back and say sorry also, like, oh, I'm sorry, I got so angry, you always make me so angry, you always say certain things. So neither these men, they know how to draw the boundary line, neither the women. Because if you are living with an abuser, a physical abuser for such a long time, somehow there has to be a certain amount of toxicity in you, or there has to be some kind of behavior pattern which shows that you are so gullible, that you are willing to forgive such a person, and you're so codependent. You're so codependent that you're okay with physical abuse. You're continuing to live with that person because you can't live without that person. You are so attached, so deeply attached to this person that you're like, I can't leave him. Even if he hits me, even if I hate that he hits me. And this applies to men and women both. There are some women, they also hit their husbands or their boyfriends or their partners a lot. They'll slap them, they'll hit them, they'll pull their hair, they'll kick them. But because she's a woman and women are supposed to be gentler beings, it's not seen as a big deal. But it happens a lot. There are some women, they beat the hell out of the husband, and the husband just keeps getting beaten up. He doesn't reply, he doesn't say anything. He doesn't react also. He'll just walk out of the house, or he'll cry somewhere in a corner or things like that. So then these type of men are also extremely gullible men, and they're extremely they need to tell their wives that, look, you should not be physically touching me or assaulting me every now and then when you try to prove a point. And I don't want to hit you because you're a woman, because I know you're a gentler being, and as a man it does not look nice that I hit women and children. But if I continue to live with you, if I continue to stay with you in a relationship, then it's not good for my self-respect. So I might as well, walk out of this relationship and we free ourselves from each other, because even you should not, live with a man who is irritating you so much that you have to hit him and slap him and pull his hair or push him on the floor or hit him with a... In India, we have a famous utensil which is called belan. And it's the rolling stick, which you use to make rotis and chapatis. So some women are very famous for hitting their women with that belan. So again, as I said, as much, if it's humor, if it's funny, if it happens once in a lifetime, or there is some situation behind it, I'm not trying to justify physical abuse, but I'm also not trying to justify people who are just playing or having fun, and they should not fall into this category. Now, why am I speaking about physical abuse and toxic mothers? Is because a lot of mothers, they hit their children a lot. When the children don't listen to them, they will slap them, they will tie them up, they will hit them with a stick. Especially if it's a girl child, in India it has been noticed that the mothers, they beat up the girl child a lot. But they don't beat the boy so much. If they have two children, one is a girl and one is a boy, the mother is extra nice to the boy will get all the perks, the boy will get all the toys, he'll get new clothes, she'll carry him around everywhere, she'll flaunt him around everywhere. He's not going to do any chores, he's not going to help the mother in any housework. It's basically a prince type of a treatment he will get, a princely treatment. And at the same time, the girl child, she will be helping in the chores, she'll be cleaning, she'll be cooking. Sometimes the mother, a small child, imagine a 10-year-old, 11-year-old, sometimes the mother just goes out doing her things and she's not interested. And she'll put the responsibility on the girl child. That you cook, you clean, you feed all the other kids in the house, your brother especially, and by the time I'm back, everything should be spick and spine. She doesn't care how this poor girl will do her homework, how she will dress herself up, how she'll feed the other kids if it's one or more, or how she'll manage all of these things and be ready by the time the mother comes. The house is spick and spine, the utensils are washed, the kitchen is clean, the bathroom is clean, there is no waste outside, or even the toys are all in place. And then while the other kid, the favorite child or the boy child, is getting all the princely treatment, he can make the walls dirty, he can use the crayons and draw whatever he wants, and the mother will look at as a piece of art and she'll be very happy. But to the girl child, she is going to be constantly difficult, constantly annoyed with her. She will not allow that poor child to be a child. And this is where the narcissistic abuse, the toxic abuse come into the picture. And yes, there are fathers also who are like that, and there are mothers also who are like that. But why we are speaking about the mother is because till the age of 7, the mother plays a very important role in the child's upbringing. She is the one who is going to hug the child, keep the child close to her chest, give lots of hugs and kisses. These hugs and kisses, when you get a lot of hugs and kisses, lot of nurturing, the mother loves you, she's not ignoring you. If you cry a bit, she's constantly around you, if you need anything while you're going to school, while you're growing up. That is a very loving mother, and at the same time she's very smart in terms of educating the children, giving them authentic education. She would not mind going against the trend. She would not mind going against the tide. If she feels that my child needs a holistic education, a real education, a natural education, if I have to make them study at home, I will do that. And she will not compare the children. She would see that every child, because it is possible, even if there is a star seed and even if there is a normal child, obviously the mother wouldn't know this difference at that time, but every mother, a good mother, a divine feminine mother, basically if a divine feminine becomes a mother, and I'm talking about a healed divine feminine, she's going to be the most selfless mother. She's going to be the most nurturing mother ever. And she will be strict, she will be disciplined, and she will keep the kids clean, but she'll also make them understand how they should also keep themselves clean. She's not going to give extra chores to one child, less chores to one other, but she will look at their abilities. She'll see, okay, all 5 fingers are not same, so how can all children be same? But definitely if one has more qualities, because some kids are just born with talents, and in this community this is very important to understand, because some of the star seeds, whether you like it or not, you are born with some gifts, and these gifts are not given to you. In fact, I'll tell you how interesting the twin flame journey is, that your gifts are not given to you until and unless you work on it. When you are a child, you have those gifts because at that time you're pure, you are not that wounded, but if you go through abuse in early childhood or late childhood, then obviously sometimes you feel lost and lonely. You don't know how to use those gifts, and you start seeing those gifts as your enemy. The same thing, that could be your weapon, or that could be your gift, or that could be a source of energy for you. The same thing will turn into something harrowing, something difficult, so you would give up on it. And this is what they say, that how dark entities or negative entities, they influence you and they take away your gifts. So when you start doing inner work, you reach to those places where a toxic mother has ill-treated you, she has tortured you, she has lied about many things to you, and she's so materialistic, she's so selfish that she does not care about the child. She only cares about her ego. So whosoever is easy to control, whosoever will dance according to her tunes, that particular child will become the enabler. Okay, so narcissistic mother or a toxic mother, she is not good for anyone. Let me tell you that. Some of the people would think, so what, the other children are getting so much love and they are getting so much affection, they are getting all the hugs and kisses, or they are getting all the support and blah blah blah. Sorry to say, but those hugs and kisses are only coming, or that type of physical affection is only coming to them because they are trying to mold them into a certain way. Okay, even they don't know, when this type of mother starts punishing the child, they will start punishing the child the moment they see that the child is not now dancing to their tunes. Okay, if the child gets into inner work or spiritual work, especially ascension work, they will realize that she is not being a pure mother. She has been selfish and she has given maximum importance to her ego. And this is the reason why some of these mothers, they use the children against the man. Now, as I've always said, that in the ascension world, or for the twin flamers or for the star seeds, at least one adult has to be an empath. Okay, and despite all the abuse they go through or all the horrible people they meet, they always also end up meeting somebody in their childhood who's a source of inspiration. They always look up to this person. So if one of the parent is an empath, an oversensitive empath, they will see this parent getting wounded. So some of these mothers, they will separate the child from the father, okay, or they will always tell the child that the father is a horrible person, or they will manipulate the father also so much. Like I said, women who torture their husbands, they manipulate them, they use them, they go like, this man has to be my slave, or they will use their addictions or their bad qualities, or sometimes they will even cook up stories to the children, like your father hit me, or your father. So when some of these clients or students come for therapy, I ask them, did you see it happening in front of your own eyes? And if it happened in front of your own eyes, okay, fine, there could be some truth to it. But if it's not happened in front of your own eyes and you've just been told about it, then you cannot totally believe it as well. And many of them have said that, yeah, I had a good connection with my father, but I never got to meet him, I never got to know him, I never got to connect with him, I never really understood him. And now when I am doing inner work, I don't know why, but I feel some kind of connection with my father, feel some kind of love towards my father. Here I am going to pause, because for the divine masculines, it's actually opposite. Divine masculines normally have toxic fathers, have narcissistic fathers, but their mothers are loving and understanding, although they have not much of say in their lives, or they are not the decision makers, they are not the deciding factors. And because they are also wounded and they are not healed fully, they can never emerge as a fully strong woman in front of the son. She's a son or daughter, and she's always going to be like the shadow of the husband, because she has to abide by everything that the man says. And this also makes the masculine feel he cannot connect with the pure divine feminine. He always sees the feminine either as someone who is very weak, very low on confidence, or she's constantly saying yes to the husband. She's constantly, even if she wants to help the child, or even if she feels that yes, the child is right, but the husband is so materialistic, so toxic, that she cannot really do anything. So this also leads to the masculines not able to find the right type of women for him ever. So that's why they keep getting stuck with karmics, because they think that karmic is the right person for me, So here I'm going to take a pause, because this is a very in-depth subject, and anybody who's in the twin flame journey, this is one of the key areas that they need to heal. Once they heal this, they start feeling very independent on planet Earth. They're no longer codependent, they're no longer looking for a mother or a father, they're no longer looking for love in different places, and sometimes wrong places. Now everyone could have a different situation, everyone could be having some kind of other, maybe, as I always say, that we are going through situations, but the core feeling is the same. So for private sessions, personal readings, guidance on dream interpretation, counseling and therapies, please go through the description box first, and once you're sure, write to me at thesunamoon@gmail.com. When it comes to twin flame intuitive readings, I prefer not knowing anything about your journey before the reading, so that we can get the best and most accurate answers. So we will discuss your twin flame journey during the reading. In case of therapies, one has to share the different facets of their life, so that we can heal the wounded inner child. Once you heal the wounded inner child, only then you can get to a 5D union, and without the 5D union, 3D union is not possible. You can also get my book In the Name of Love, which has 5 channel twin flame stories based on the journey of finding your ultimate soulmate. The link is also given in the description box. So I will talk about this subject in detail and in the next session, and I will continue it. Thank you so much for being here with me. One love and peace out.